date.
Alright ninjas, right now it's time once again for the 1 hour manga drawing practice challenge to become a super mangaka. And today it's time for the 6-pack suggested by the Giant. So pick up your pens and let's start drawing the 6-pack. Let's go. So right now we're gonna draw the 6-pack suggested by the Giant. Nice. For the 1 hour manga drawing practice challenge. So yeah ninjas, I was going over there. So yeah, the 6-pack's time is the 6-pack. Shit. Alright, now it's time for the 6-pack. The 6-pack. Let's get a good 6-pack picture here. I guess I should draw a bit of the torso with the 6-pack, I suppose. So yeah, let's draw the 6-pack here. So this is for the 1 hour manga drawing practice challenge to practice the manga skills, and you can also pick up your pens and draw along to practice your drawing manga abilities, skills, to improve your manga, and you know, just draw along and chillax here. If you have any questions or topics or something, just let me know as well. I might also not always respond right away to everything because I'm also drawing here, and drawing takes sometimes well, you have to also focus on certain parts to it's hard to talk sometimes and then drawing at the same time, to think and then also draw, because then figuring out how everything needs to be in the drawing and then also talking at the same time can be a bit of a thing. So now I'm figuring out where the 6-pack and the muscles should be. So now I'm drawing a bit of the torso with the 6-pack to not make it a random separate floating 6-pack floating there. Let's see here. So this is also not for a final piece, this is for a drawing practice, so it doesn't have to be perfect. And even if you finish drawings, they probably are still not perfect, because when you look back at it later, there's probably still something you can improve on it. But yeah, of course, you at some point have to draw a line here, and our line is the 1 hour, or at least around the 1 hour timer, to fill this page up with, in this case, 6-packs in this session, because that's the challenge right here. I'm gonna draw a bit more of the torso, a little bit, because else I think it doesn't look so good. Or you know, yeah, this dude has a really well-defined 6-pack. The doo-doo. So yeah ninjas, are you ever stuck with drawing because you think your current drawing skill level is not good enough? I have had that, maybe still have had, for example with drawing Party Time, the one-shot. I think that level of skill is better than previous Party Time manga pages that I drew before. Before that I drew Party Time the series, because I started Party Time as a series before, which was a happy accident, I suppose. Or I think it's still good that I did it, but it's better not to start with a series, I think, because over time my skill level increased or became better if I look back at my own older art. Yeah, it's better than doing nothing, but it might have been better if I just made previous one-shots for Party Time and then later make improved ones before actually starting it as a series, because I still want to start it as a series. Only the problem is time and lifetime, because when you get older you have only so much time, and to complete a series takes many years, like completing it how you want to complete it, like a long running series, like the big shonen type of series. I think other people also, if they look back at their own series, they also redraw stuff. Like if you look at older One Piece, it looks different than now. He did at a standard back then though, and some people even say that, for example, Eiichiro Oda, in his manga work of One Piece, it became worse and more chaotic. Like that back then, his art was actually more clear than right now. That now a lot of the times, his art is too chaotic. Yeah, maybe the problem there is also that he tries to tell a lot. Like he has so much to tell, but he only has so much space for it. And if he tells everything he wants to tell, then One Piece even takes longer than it already is. And people already have criticized him for it being long. Like that's the first talking point most of the times, or one of the first talking points of people when they think of One Piece. Oh, it's so long. That's most of the times one of the first things what they think about with One Piece. But it does show that Oda keeps it up for so long, and he's like a marathon runner, not a sprint runner. Because there are other shows that have started in One Piece's lifetime and also already ended before that. So that's kind of interesting, and those were popular series, like My Hero Academia, Jujutsu Kaisen, Demon Slayer. They're all big series, manga series, and I'm talking manga right now because some of them the anime didn't finish yet. But One Piece survived that as well. One Piece is still going while they already had their successes in between, and still have with the anime marketing, of course, because yeah, for manga, anime is being made for marketing, and then by making anime, the manga also becomes more popular because people want to then, if they are impatient, to then read the manga and then continue that story through the manga instead of the anime, and then you know. Yo Hart, welcome back to the show. NINJABOX is showing, and what did you eat today? How's it going? How's it going? Here drawing the 41-hour manga drawing practice challenge, the 6-pack suggested by the Giant. But yeah, what was the point again? Oh yeah, like if your art is good enough and not, or do you ever feel that your art is not good enough for what you want to make with your current art skills? Like I think some time ago Psychra Asin made a video about like your artistic abilities and your eyes. So your way of seeing how good it is versus creating it. And if your art eye and your art skill level meet, it's good, but then sometimes your eyes become better than your skill level, and then you think your art is shit. But yeah, I guess sometimes you need to set a bar, and maybe some manga become worse than others, like how some people criticize Eiichiro Oda of it becoming more chaotic, and they don't like current day One Piece, his art. But I think also it also looks good and organic. Yeah, I guess since the beginning always One Piece was criticized with the art, how it's not, it's still cartoony or whatever. Like how people said with Gear 5, yeah, it's too cartoony, but One Piece always was cartoony. It was always like that. But the advantage One Piece has with that cartoony-ish thing is that it can do it. Like let's say Naruto or Bleach did it, it might look a bit more weird. But yeah. Yeah, the point was like, do you ever feel like your art abilities are not good enough for what you want to create? And you're talking from an artistic point of perspective, like an artmate also talked about it. And yeah, for me with Party Time, I think my current Party Time one-shot level is my highest bar so far of manga skills, or like while drawing Party Time the one shot, you learn new things as well, because like I did not know everything. I still don't know everything how to draw things, and then when making manga you figure stuff out. At least that's my experience when I make manga. So because when you make manga you have to draw many things and characters in different poses and everything. Yo Dancho, welcome back to the show. NINJABOX ishhh, and what did you eat today? And when you draw manga, while drawing it you figure out new things how to draw that as well. And of course then you take you look at reference or make your own reference, how it should look like. And of course it doesn't always have to be anatomically correct, but I do think it needs to look appealing, or at least to the eye, the reader. And some manga thrive more on story, I think, than their drawing abilities versus some other manga. Like if some more like I personally think that some manga's a bit less well drawn than other manga, but then maybe they have something else that keeps the reader reading. But I guess for the story they try to tell, it's still good enough. Well, of course it's also your personal opinion on which manga looks better than others, but then like you can draw the best manga, but if your story is shit, maybe yeah, then it's just not interesting to read. So but yeah, I'm still stuck with Party Time the one shot as a series, because well, it has to start right at the beginning at a certain level. Like I want to do everything, or not everything, most of it drawn correctly traditional, but from the experience of the one shot I did fix some things up digitally, and it's just more of a pain in the mental side that if you have to do it all traditionally with ink correctly in one go. So maybe with Party Time I might make it completely digital, or not. But yeah, over the years, if I look at my older Party Time art, for example, and Party Time is a manga series that I started creating many years ago as a series, and then later switched to it being a one-shot. The main reason for the one-shot was also for the 100 Tezuka Award, but also then that I've learned that to finish it and make it complete, because a series, the problem with a series is that yeah, if you start it you have to finish it, but I didn't start it correctly, I guess, or my art skills is not good enough yet, and the art storytelling, yeah, like you could argue maybe okay, just start, which actually was what I did. Well then if you look back later, yeah, it's yeah, like one shots are easier to finish because it's shorter, so it's, you know. But yeah, if you also create, do you ever feel like your artistic level is not good enough for what you want to create? And then how do you handle that? Like you just improve your skill level or improve your drawings and then come back to it later, which is also a possibility. It's also one of the reasons why it's better to start with short manga stories. If you want to tell your manga, to start first with shorter stories to practice the manga skills, so that when you level up in the manga drawing abilities and the whole process, and then when you improve that, you come back to it later to start your real shit. Well, the problem of this is can also be, well, then you might think you're never good enough, and then it never starts, and then you're too old and you die, and then you never started it because you're practicing your skills for your whole life for the right moment to start, but never starting it, and then yeah, might be a regret to take in your grave. But yeah, like making manga takes a lot of time, and yeah. Bills also need to be paid, so and manga is like a full, if you take it seriously at least, it's a full work week. It's like yeah, or it just gets slower. So if you make a series and your chapters come out really slowly, like once in a long time, then yeah, people just forget about your shit, I guess, unless you already proven yourself. But if you're a starter that hasn't proven themselves yet, yeah, people forget it, right? Unless it's yeah, really good quality, or like for okay, look, for some already proven, people are willing to wait for. Like let's say Hunter x Hunter, the guy Togashi is sick, right? So he has more. So people are really happy if a new chapter comes out. Oh, welcome back, Hart. Oh, yeah. What time is it over there? 3 a.m. or something? You go back to sleep. Well, good morning. That's cool, man. Thanks for popping in. Have a great sleep. Sweet dreams, and don't forget the man under the bed. Merc, that is. Yes, so good morning and good night. See you later, Art. 3:19 a.m. Yeah. Yeah, man. Have a great sleep. Yeah, it's not only the six-pack, but I'm also adding here some screen tone to practice the screen tone skills a bit. Well, more as a brush now, but yeah, kind of like it. And that's the advantage of digital drawing, because traditional you cannot use it as a brush, at least so far I know. But digital you can, as you can see right here. Which, yeah. Gives it a bit of that manga aesthetic. Yeah. Normally I don't really want to over screen tone too much in my manga, to have a certain art style, to follow the masters that inspire me. But yeah, also other masters inspire me, and they use more screen tone. So, but yeah, over screen toning in manga is also not good, because then you rely too much on screen toning instead of your actual drawing skills. So yeah, I think if you have a well-defined black and white artistic ability to tell your visuals, yeah, a scar. Why a scar, man? What kind of scar? A scar on the six-pack. Yeah, maybe I can draw a simple quick scar. Scarface? No. What scar? I know, a Ninjakees scar. Oh no, shit. Oh, that's more a tattoo. Oops. Ah well, he has a Ninjakees scar tattoo. How do you draw scars? I should not be drawing scars, man. Lame scar. What is this, man? No, then you don't see the six-pack. Yeah. Here's your scar. More like a tattoo. No. Two. Like Luffy. Luffy! I monkey D. Luffy! Oh, like Luffy? Or a Zoro? Zombie man. Like that guy from Jujutsu Kaisen, Scarface. Now his whole body's like scar. Score. Okay, enough scars. We only have 36 minutes left. Bruh. Okay, let's see. I have to make it a bit more sculpted looking. Yeah, there are different ways of drawing. You can of course also sculpt your drawing more like a painting, but in this case it's about a line art. The line art, because manga exists mostly of line art, not sculpting art. So that's why through lines, trying to convey the visual image, not through paint sculpting. Like you can make amazing stuff with painting, sculpting, like blocking out your art through just overall sculpting your visual image. But in this case, we're focusing on the line art, not the sculpting art. Yeah, I saw this video of someone that talked about it, who made some amazing stuff. Good night, Hart. Have a great night, and yeah, man. Enjoy. Have some nice, juicy dreams. Sweet dreams. Some nice six-pack dreams. You wake up in your dream with a six-pack, and maybe you already have one. Maybe you already have one, and it's an 8-pack. You're drawing the six-pack for the 1 hour manga drawing practice challenge, in case you did not know that. Adding some screen tones here. Are we allowed to draw male nipples on yeah. Yeah. Ah shit, I was in the wrong layer. Oops. Number 3. Let's see. 6-pack. So I'm drawing a bit of the torso as well, not just the 6-pack. Because else it's just a floating 6-pack, and yeah. I find that a bit lame. So yeah, ninjas. Do you have a 6-pack? Or draw along getting a 6-pack. 1, 2, 3. Or an 8-pack. Or maybe you have a 1-pack. 1-pack.
Nice.
Or 2-pack.
Just do it!
So remember, this is for practice, not a final piece, so it doesn't have to be perfect. If you draw along, Pantsu. Yeah, we also drew a fat belly before. I think suggested by the giant, but now it's the opposite. Yeah, I guess, yeah. I heard six-pack is really hard to maintain. I guess only a small percentage of the population has a well-defined six-pack. And some are more natural with it, I guess. If it's in your DNA. Easier to, you know. Like some of those fit boys say like, oh yeah, do these exercises to get a six-pack. But then other fit boys say, oh, but actually you cannot train a six-pack. You have to do other things to make it more, like to make it appear, you know. Like you can probably have a six-pack under the fat, but to make it appear, well, you have to remove the fat. So therefore, and also with other exercises, you automatically train your six-pack with some muscle training and such. For example, I train like chest with certain moves with cables and such. But while doing that, you also automatically train your six-pack, or that's what another fit gym bro said to me. Like he said, oh, why you're wasting, or he recommended me to not waste too, like I did six-pack, what was it, sit-ups on the machine with some weights on it in the gym. But then he said like, yeah, but if you do this like chest training, then you also automatically get your six-pack. No. Coming soon. No, yeah. This is your suggestion to draw the six-pack giant. Thanks. So here's you know, the six-pack practice, and yeah, I guess the giant has not so much fat. I think the giant can easily get a six-pack if he actually puts some effort in muscle training. He can, I think, have a easier get a six-pack, because if you're less fat, it's easier to see it. Yeah, here you have it. So yeah. But I think for the giant it would be easier to get a six-pack if he actually puts in the work, because he has less fat. So then you easier see the muscles. But yeah, like you read, the giant doesn't like muscles, so that's not gonna happen then. I think it's easier if you have less fat to get a six-pack, at least to make it pop, you know, than opposed to if you have more fat. And maybe it depends also on your DNA and such. So for some people it's just easier to keep it. Like my problem is I love to eat, and enjoy life with food. But yeah, some people hate to eat, and then it's easier to not eat, and then, you know, it's easier to get a six-pack. And then again, it's hard to maintain. To keep it shredded looking, right? You don't need legs for a six-pack. Cannot just do sit-ups. Yeah, walking then. Walking might be a problem for your legs. Let's see. We have some other angles. Yeah, mostly it's front or the side, right? Yeah, I'm drawing also a bit of the torso with the six-pack. Why, you ask? Well, else it's just a floating six-pack, which I find a bit lame looking. It's like when people suggest drawing the tongue and then not the mouth, or at least, yeah, then I draw the mouth with it, because most of the time a tongue is in a mouth, for example. And yeah, six-pack is mostly on the torso, so I draw a bit of that, you know. This is literally practicing the chisels. How does this go? This goes a bit up here with the arm. I'm not gonna draw the whole arm, but to give an indication that this here. Six-pack. So yeah, ninjas, what have you been watching lately? Or playing anime or games? We've watching a bit of Sakamoto Days on when eating dinner, episode number 4, which was fun. Yeah, it's so far an enjoyable show. Yeah, of course the manga's also there. I might prefer the anime though. Yeah, Sakamoto Days is basically about this guy Sakamoto, who was like this hitman in his prime, in his older days, and then at some point he retires and becomes fat and have a family, and because of his family, I guess his girl convinced him to not do become a hitman anymore. A hitman is like someone who kills people for hire, you know, like hitman shit. But then he stops being a hitman and then has started a family, and then because he stops being a hitman, the group that he belonged to wants to kill him because he stops being in the organization of hitmen, and therefore he needs to die according to them, and then all these other hitmen are after him, and they don't believe he became this fat because he was like a beautiful boy, looking handsome dude, and now he's a fat dude with a mustache, and they think they underestimate him because of his fatness, but he is still as strong as ever because he was a legendary hitman in the hitman world, and he still is because you know, he still has the skills, and even though he became fat and has a family now, he yeah, so it's basically about other hitmen trying to assassinate him because he retired to be a hitman, and yeah, it's all has fun stuff in it, some good shonen action. It's more realistic though, plays in Japan, but the characters do have some physical abilities, or like shonen jump type of characters, and one of the side characters has he can read the mind of people. He's like a psychic. He cannot unlimitedly read other people their minds, but to a certain extent he can read people their minds, what they think, and therefore he was also an assassin. Well, you have to get into it to understand it better, but basically he was also an assassin, and like if he's in battle with someone, he can read the other person's what they think in a certain radius, in a certain range, so how far people are standing. Then he can read their minds and therefore also dodge attacks. So like, let's say a hitman attacks him, or you know, and they think something, then because he can read their minds from a certain distance, he can dodge well, certain attacks and such, you know, and that's one of the characters. So there's some bit of psychic supernatural element in there, introduced in there with one of the side characters. You have also this other girl, part of the crew, so to speak, or side character, that's has some martial arts. She comes more from a Chinese-ish background with some martial arts from this what was it, her family clan was killed by the assassins and such, and they came after her and shit, and then Sakamoto and the new dude, what was his face? He looks a bit like Sanji, or at some in a certain extent, but yeah, they try to help her and such, and but Sakamoto, the main character, that's the guy who has a mustache and became fat. He still is powerful in his abilities. Like, a lot of people underestimate him because, hey, this is the legendary assassin that was you know, really well known and all that. He has this what's the word, notoriety in the assassin world, and then they see him like, oh, this fat dude, they underestimate him, and that's their mistake, because he can still beat them to smithereens. It's a bit like One Punch Man in a way, in the sense that like he is like maybe you could argue, I'm not sure, I've been only at episode 4, but you could maybe argue like he's like, okay, he has sort of not exactly like Saitama's level from One Punch Man, that he is like the strongest and beat everyone in one punch, but in a sense he is that for the assassins. Like he takes punches and such and not beat everyone in one punch, but more in the sense of skill level he is like top tier, and therefore he is a bit like the sort of Saitama of the story. And then he has also this grocery store, or this 7-Eleven kind of store, where he works at with his family, and he just tries to live a normal life. And then he has to protect that convenience store, so to speak, with his family, and also his wife made him stop being an assassin. She knows about it apparently from a few flashbacks from more of the beginning of the story, or one of the episodes. But she knows about like him being an assassin, and she made him promise to not kill ever anymore, and being an assassin. But of course people do come after him, and yeah, that makes for yeah, shonen battles, the reason why you know, to protect but because of his great skill level in assassination, he can quite easily protect. I wonder if there will come a moment where he gets beaten for real or something, but so far it feels more like a Saitama type of story, where he just wants to chill his life with his wife and kid, his daughter. Yeah, but so far it's a fun, well produced anime. The animation quality and the visuals are really awesome. Yeah, so far it's fun, and we're gonna keep watching it. I might even read the manga at some point. But yeah, that is one of the anime we've been watching. We still have to continue that other show called what's it called, Arcane, but I prefer to I guess marathon it, but that, yeah, takes a bit more time. So to really I forgot a bit also what it was all about, because so many shit happened in the previous season. Yeah, it's better to watch them both at the same time, I guess, or marathon them, because sometimes with a show that you have not seen in a while, you might forget some shit. Yeah, we've also been watching some of the new season of Dr. Stone, which is fun, and they are now in America, or well, yeah, the new America. Like Dr. Stone is this story about humanity is like turned into stone, and there are only a few survivors, so to speak, or well, at the beginning, like people were like turned into stone, so everyone on every living being on the planet, or well, all humans were turned into stone by a natural event, like what's the word, by the climate. An event occurred, and it seems to be a natural phenomenon, and that changed all humans into statues, like stone statues. That's why it's called also Dr. Stone, or one of the reasons why, because the whole humanity was turned into stone. And then at some point, thousands of years later, like you have the main characters, and one of the main characters is like a genius, smarter than Einstein with science and such. And he, at some point after thousands of years of counting in his head, because it seems that when the people were turned into stone, they still remain sort of consciousness. While they do fall asleep, also being in the stone, but they are sort of still conscious. And one of the main characters, the smart guy, was still counting while being in stone, and therefore knowing how much time has passed. So he's like this crazy scientist kind of main character, and he was counting for the whole time to keep track of how much time is been passing. And then at some point, for some reason, by this sort of liquid or something, alcohol, like some specific liquid, he I think it was because of the liquid, he gets unstoned, so that made the stone crack open, and him being able to awaken from his like being in stone. Yeah, because he was in, people were in stone, and then because of that liquid, he was unstoned at some point, and then well, this guy is smart, so he figures out ways how to make people alive again, because the people that were turned into stones are actually still human beings if you unstone them. So he finds a way to unstone the people, but you need some stuff for it. And because he is smart, he basically has to reinvent all humanity's inventions, or at least not reinvent, but to build it back, you know, like all the. So this story is well about human and the science. All we have invented so far, like fire, electricity, telephones and such. In this story, like it gets reintroduced, or yeah, it's you can learn some stuff from it. But basically, it's about that well, they try to restore humanity, and of course there's shonen manga elements, some battle elements in there, and also the science element, or of all the inventions of humanity theme. That's I think an interesting way to put that in shonen type of manga storytelling. But yeah, this main character Senku and a few other characters, well, they try to restore humanity, and also by each episode they build new, or not new, but humanity's inventions back. At some point they also make a sort of a telephone and such, and like this guy is really smart, and he's really necessary for the story because he knows how things work. Like because like imagine if you start on a new planet with the same resources as Earth, do you really know how you have to build back everything you know now? The PC, computer, telephone, electricity, fire and such. Do you know from scratch how to make it? Well, this guy does, and that's what he does. And with people that he unstones and such, help him and such. Of course, you have also some people that were unstoned, and those were the wrong people. They want to actually build a different society and such, which make it for interesting conflict between the characters. But yeah, this is one of the newest season came out, and that is what we have been watching as well. So far it's still fun. I forgot to screen tone this one. Oops. Let's give it a little flair here. But yeah, they're basically trying to fix back humanity and bring back everyone that was turned into stone. And one of the characters at the beginning, at least, he has a different vision and also destroys some statues because he disagrees that some people are restored, and therefore at the beginning he literally just breaks statues and such. So he technically murders people by breaking the people that turned into stone, or some of the people. Yeah, but it's really interesting anime / mangas. Well, the manga technically already finished, I believe, but Yeah, we're watching the anime, so there are different mediums to enjoy the same story. And also, yeah, I guess it's easier to watch anime with someone versus reading a manga with someone. Like an anime you can watch together, but reading a manga together is, yeah, I guess it's more like reading manga is more like of a solo experience, I guess, than with other people. Like, do you ever read a book with someone else? And how does that work? Yeah. Each medium has so their strengths and weaknesses, I suppose. Or just their way of consuming it. Like some co-op games you can play with others, but then solo games, yeah, you can take turns, but then not at the same time. Or just watch someone play and you don't play, and then that's also a way. Do you just prefer to play a game or watch someone else play a game, and why? Well, I imagine if you prefer to play a game than watch someone play a game, it's because you want to make the experience yourself. And yeah, sometimes maybe you don't have the game, or you just prefer to see someone else, like, you prefer to watch because you're not into playing games, maybe. Or yeah, not go into the whole trouble of getting the game, or maybe it's not, like maybe it's only on a certain thing and you don't want to buy it, or through other ways. Yeah, you know, or just checking out what the game is like, or it might be too difficult for you and see someone else do it. Yo Dion, welcome back. NINJABOX ishhh, and what did you eat today? No interest in playing, but I might have interest in seeing. So you don't want to play it, but seeing it is. Are you like to see the reaction of the person that's playing it, or just the game? It can also be like, yeah, the person that's playing it is entertaining with their reactions. And it's not necessarily always about the game, can be a way, but yeah. Yeah, and if you don't want to play it yourself, but you like, okay. Yeah, you know, that's also one of the ways to enjoy a game. Yeah, maybe sometimes you want to see how someone else does it, and then you don't have to do it. Yeah, but maybe it also depends on the game. Some might be more enjoyable to watch than other games to watch because of the gameplay. What number was this? 8? There's the timer! Yeah, I guess that was it for this one. Alrighty then, we finished another set of drawings for the 1 hour manga drawing practice challenge suggested by the Giant. Here's number 1 of the 6 packs. Here's number 2, added some extra scars here because game suggested it. And here's number 3. Number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7, and number 8 here.
Nice.
So yeah, just let me know your favorite 6-pack drawing here.
Just do it!
And if you have any other suggestions, let me know as well. So far, this is the 1 hour manga drawing practice challenge for drawing the 6-packs. Yeah. Do you have a 6-pack like one of these, or ever had it, or want one of these? Yeah, and which one is your favorite? Alright, ninjas, that was it for the 1 hour manga drawing practice challenge. Once again suggested by the Giant to draw the 6-pack. Let me know which one was your favorite, and yeah, if you have any other suggestions, let me know as well. So this was number 53 of drawing for the 1 hour manga practice challenge as well. Number 54 is Collarbones and Necks, suggested by Dion. So that's the next upcoming number to draw for the 1 hour manga drawing practice challenge. Yes! Alright, ninjas, thank you for joining once again. NINJABOX ishhh, and see you ninjas the next time. Ninjakees out.
Ninjakees.
Thanks for joining once again, ninjas. NINJABOX ishhh, and see you ninjas the next time. Ninjakees out.